Okay, so wedding filmmaker, would you rather, Bobby? We're excited to test this on you for the first, be our first guinea pig.
I love it. I'm a little bit nervous.
This has been under wraps for a while. These questions are very secret. You know, the document was not shared with Bobby. But the first one is a softball, Bobby. Would you rather shoot or edit?
I am very much of the mindset that I would rather shoot. Like, editing is just, it's been a thing that I've enjoyed, and there's some huge payoff, right? Like when you finish a film and you're like, dude, I nailed it, right? Like there's no better feeling. But I'm just kind of the mindset, like I'm not inherently an editor. I think it takes me longer. I think there are people who can do it better, do it faster. And you know, once I kind of dove into outsourcing some of my edits and realizing like how cost effective that was for me, I just, it didn't make sense for me, and I'm a shooter at heart for sure. So shooting's my answer for that one.
See, I would rather.
That's easy.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Next question. Would you rather work with a photographer who always gets in your shot or a DJ that screws up your audio?
Ooh. That's a tough one. Well, all right. So I think my gut reaction, right, is to say I would rather work with a DJ who screws up my audio because I would have multiple sources and it wouldn't really matter. Like if I'm throwing a lav mic on them for toast, like basically the minute I plug into that audio, especially if the DJ's like, yeah, I don't think I can give you an output. Sorry, man. And I'm like, well, can I just like look at your system? And I find like, 4 options. I'm just like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't trust this at all. Like I'm putting a lav on everybody who's speaking. I'm maybe taping, something to the mic too. Like I'm having backups on backups for that because I'm just banking on not getting that source.
Okay, let me throw
throw a wrench in there.
Okay, throw a wrench in it. So a person who always gets in your shot, right? Who's like just that photographer, or a DJ who not only they don't screw up your audio, like they don't like blow your levels out or whatever, but they have like a terrible microphone that's constantly popping and like in the room, and it's coming through in your audio.
Oh man, I don't know. I think I'd still probably go with the DJ. Like audio's so important, don't get me wrong, but it sounds like in that scenario there would still be pieces that I could maybe pull, whereas like if I don't have visual and I don't have what I need for that, it's like it's kind of a wash at that point. I'm a big fan of like building story with audio and whatever, but if I had to just make a music video style thing, like I could, and like that blame isn't on me. Like it's way, like not that I'm gonna like throw somebody under the bus, but like it's way easier to be like, look, I did everything I could. I had 3 audio sources. Your DJ screwed up every single one of them. Like this guy's a fool.
Yes.
A DJ's not gonna give me a referral, but a photographer, I mean, I probably don't really want to work with that photographer if they're in my way all the time, but like they carry more weight.
We'll have one more variation on this one. Would you rather
Let's do it.
Would you rather be referred constantly by a photographer who got in your way or constantly by a DJ who constantly screwed up audio?
I feel like Jason just wants me to like pick the photographer one.
No. You're inspiring me. You're inspiring me.
I think that okay, well here's what I'd say to that. I think a DJ who doesn't know what they're doing is probably not charging a lot of money, and their clients probably wouldn't be able to afford me. Whereas a photographer who's getting in your way, like, could still be an amazing photographer. Like, that's not them doing their job poorly. Yes, that's just them not communicating with me, or me not communicating with them, maybe. I mean, or just it's a wedding and it's chaotic and that happens. I don't actually really mind photographers who get in my way, because the thing is that, I mean, I do eventually, right? But like, hear me out on this. The thing is that they haven't maybe worked with me before, and everybody works differently. And so some videographers might be like, do whatever you want. I'm going to go take the couple for 10 minutes by myself, or what. Like, I don't do that, but some do, or whatever. So like, the thing that gets me is if they're constantly in my shot, and I'm super direct at this point in my career. Like, I have no issue just being like, hey, I need you to not be in my camera, or just ask me before you go in, or like I need you to hold that pose for longer so that I can get what I need to. And if they're not receptive to that, then like they're just actively against you. And I don't want to be referred by somebody like that. But a lot of people it's just a communication thing, and they just don't know that they're ruining stuff for me.
We would agree with you.
Okay, so last question, Bobby.
All right.
Would you rather be sick at a wedding with flaming diarrhea that no one knew about, or would you rather throw up in front of all of the wedding guests?
Ooh. Neither are good options.
Yeah, obviously.
I guess my question would be, how much does it affect me? Like, am I like straight on like missing big chunks of the day?
No,
'cause I'm
so
in the bathroom?
you have diarrhea in your pants, and you
like carrying it around. That's
you
an
have
issue.
you have diarrhea, and you're able to change, clean up, and no one knows. Versus you throw up in front of all the guests.
This is clearly a very highbrow show that we have.
Yeah.
So one is more public humiliation. One is a very private shame.
And
I mean,
also,
I guess private shame then. Like, I'd rather like, I guess I'd rather shit my pants and then like be able to clean up and whatever. I don't know.
I think I would rather throw up in front of everyone.
Depends what day or what time of the day. Like, is this a reception? They're like,
Reception.
dude, that videographer's been hitting the bar hard, and you're just like, is that what we're talking about? Like that could go way longer
During
than
the ceremony.
There's never a good time.
The reason why, I mean, because this is a very real question, I feel like.
I've heard a lot of stories.
I mean, we've had people that are sick on on our team or whatever. Like, this has happened. I mean, the reason I thought of this question is because Jay had a bloody nose at one of our weddings, and he came back at the end of the day, had blood on his shirt. Like, so there's just shit that happens at a wedding that
I had to
no
change
one
my
anticipates.
shirt, and I was just shooting a wedding in a white tee.
Okay, so that's crazy. So, okay, I was just talking about with somebody. I like randomly get these like bloody nose, like not often, but like every now and then I do, and it's like full on, you know what I mean? And so I've had this happen once at a wedding, thank God only once in like 14 years, so knock on wood. I was literally reaching to like grab the dress, because I just asked the bride, I was like, do you mind if I take your dress like in the other room, whatever. Reaching and grab the dress, and then like I like just felt like, like like I don't know, I was like, oh, I got like a little like snot dripping or whatever. I just went like that to like wipe it, and luckily I like looked at my hand and it was like a little like bloody spot, and I was like right there. And I was like, slowly backing away. I rushed to the bathroom, grabbed like a bunch of like toilet paper because that's all I could find. But they were like people like getting ready in there and stuff too.
Terrifying.
You know what I mean? Like it was like in an apartment. I like ran out of the apartment into the stairwell. I was just like in the stairwell for like 15 minutes, like bleeding all over this. I was like, God, I was like seconds away from like literally just destroying this dress.
So I have a random story of something terrible. Maybe we'll use this, maybe we'll cut it out. But I remember I was shooting a wedding with these two photographers, and they were like trying to get the perfect ring shot. And they put this ring up on, like, we're on a long, in New England, there's a lot of like, every venue ever has a stupid boardwalk. And so literally like these people put it up on like the railway of this boardwalk, and they're like shooting, and I'm like, all right. So I'm just shooting this ring, and the ring goes, bing! It just falls off the boardwalk and down between the deck and onto the rocks over on the water of the ocean.
Oh my gosh. Did they get it?
Well, so yeah, I'm like, and the girls are like, did that just fall? And I was like, yeah. And so they're just like, I don't know if they're just new and they didn't know what they're doing.
Freaking out, hopefully.
So I walk up with my phone and I just start shining the phone around on the rocks, and it catches the light, and I'm like, oh, so the ring fell through the dock onto a rock with water all around it.
That sounds like the perfect shot right there. Did you pick up that shot? Were you
So,
filming
yeah.
120 frames a second? You probably
Yeah.
should have been.
So weddings are kind of unpredictable. And
Or absolute chaos.
yeah. So
Or all the above.
Yeah.
yeah, and so hopefully these 3 Would You Rather questions have illustrated how crazy weddings are. Thank you for participating in our first ever Wedding Filmmaker Would You Rather, Bobby.
I like it. I think this is going places. I see it continuing on.